Friends, 234 days of war. Winter is still far, but now we are already halfway through to October when the temperature is dipping to 10 degrees centigrade, still in positive and very pleasant. But by November, it will be half of it, and from beginning of December, it will go in minus. Now let us start from the ground. In east, yesterday morning in Avdiivka, Russian had a small breakthrough. They managed to capture skyscrapers Pervomaisky, and from south they forced the Ukrainian to pull back behind third line of defense. In North Avdiivka, however, there had been no assault. In Bakhmut, the Ukrainian forces continue to withdraw. However, there is information from the Ukrainian side that they are rotating, rather replacing the old and depleted forces from Bakhmut front with fresh and new one. However, there is no confirmation on that, and the Russian forces continue moving with the sole aim of taking over Bakhmut, a long battlefield. In north, the fight on Terny Novosadove Tursky line east of river, the battle continues, but elsewhere it is by and large status quo. Coming to south, it is known that Ukrainian forces are accumulating reserves on south front. At present, it is said that more than 60,000 soldiers have been accumulated, and half of them is at Nikolaev, with the aim of counteroffensive on Kherson. Since the beginning of counteroffensive in south or in north, the Russians have strengthened their defense. And if this counteroffensive starts, it is going to be a major one with huge amount of losses of men and material from both the sides. At present, it seems, by and large, that Ukrainians are preparing for Kherson counteroffensive, while Russians are concentrating on Bakhmut and now partially on Avdiivka front, while continuing their tactical and strategic bombing on large scale since last 4 or 5 days in rest of the Ukraine. The war of attrition is surging and in a very ugly fashion. Pentagon is not ready to move back despite the fear of escalation of war beyond the boundaries of Ukraine, and now has allocated another fresh 725 million worth new military package to Ukraine. As far as the Kiev regime is concerned, the part of attrition which includes the weapon, it is not bothered as now. It is the headache of Pentagon and its allies. Ukraine seems to be mainly interested in war rhetoric as well as management of troops, which also going out of the country like in Poland and England to be trained on advanced weapon system and of course the basic fighting skills. But with the winter approaching, the American and allies cannot be satisfied with only supplying the latest air defense system, medium range plus weapon system, lethal munitions, and most importantly real-time information, but a winter clothing heating system and other winter equipment to help the Ukrainian army continue its war efforts, including the NATO forces which have penetrated there. And it is not a simple task, especially when the Russians are continuing destroying the logistic line of war materials systematically. In these conditions, I am expecting a major Russian assault not far in future. Thank you, friends.